The Anaconda Copper Mining Company dominated the copper industry from the 1880s to the 1970s. The company was owned by Marcus Daly, who was a savvy businessman throughout his career in mining. Copper deposits were discovered in Butte, Montana, and Daly built a smelter and connected a railroad to the town. Butte, Montana had several mines, and Anaconda mostly used underground mining techniques to extract the copper. What is now known as the Berkeley Pit was referred to as the richest hill on earth because it was the most productive copper mine in the world at that time. Immigrants were the most prominent form of labor in Butte, and Daly never hesitated to hire their cheap labor. Mining camps were set up by Anaconda, and the town of Butte was up for rent. The miners and their families could pay rent to live on the Anaconda-owned land. Due to the dangerous conditions of mining, many women were left without husbands, children without fathers, and families without income.
My dad worked at the Mountain Con Mine, which is right across from our house here. At 4:30, you could look over and you'd just see him coming out the gate. Everybody was always watching to see if your dad was among those coming out.
Every night I said prayers that I would be killed instead of getting crippled. I used to have nightmares, and I still do, of getting crushed, falling down a shaft.
In 1899, Daly joined forces with William Rockefeller, Thomas Lawson, and Henry Rogers to create the fourth largest corporation in the United States. As World War I approached, the demand for copper grew, as well as the expectations for miners. Miners were expected to work longer hours, making conditions more dangerous. The miners tried to fight back through their union, the Western Federation of Miners, but were unsuccessful. In 1917, the Granite Mountain Mine had a large fire, which trapped and killed 168 miners. Miners continued to fight for safer working conditions, but Anaconda refused. Butte had become more violent than ever. Union meeting halls were destroyed, miners who spoke or acted out were jailed or killed, and union strikes brought the attention of the U.S. military. The well-known Anaconda Road Massacre of 1920 had guards intentionally shoot a group of miners on strike. Anaconda owners were behind the massacre. In 1922, Anaconda bought a mine in Chile known as Chuquicamata, which was the largest copper mine in the world. American miners agreed to mine in Chile with high hopes for wealth. Homes were built for their families, but the Chilean miners were not treated as well as the Americans. The surrounding areas where Chilean miners had lived were completely industrialized. Chilean miners were used as cheap labor, much like the Irish immigrants, and when they wanted safer conditions, they were turned down fast. Chilean miners could not unionize because their lives would be in jeopardy. In 1929, the American stock market crash hit Anaconda hard. Shareholders lost more than $150 million, and operations slowed down considerably due to the price decrease in copper. Anaconda laid off thousands of workers in America and Chile. With the onset of World War II, the industry somewhat recovered as copper was needed in the war. After the war, prices fell again and mining costs grew. The Greater Butte Project was set into action, which championed a new method of mining, block caving. This was successful, but mining costs rose, so the company returned to their old ways. In 1971, Chilean President Salvador Allende removed ownership of Chuquicamata from Anaconda. Anaconda Copper Mining Company was hit hard financially by the loss of this mine and the failure of other mines. In 1977, Anaconda Copper Mining Company was sold to Atlantic Richfield Company for $700 million. The presence of the Anaconda Copper Mining Company has a paternal presence in the copper industry for half a century, and its legacy can still be seen in Butte, Montana, which remains a mining town to this day.